life, and I want to thank God for you. I am so excited to see you once again, that God has made it possible for us to cross path again. You look so awesome, you look so beautiful, handsome this morning. We thank God who has brought us this far, who has held us, on the wings of eagles and also sustain our lives. God bless you for making time to come to church. This morning I believe that God is going to use my voice to, bring you to a place, of fulfillment before we leave this place. For a couple of weeks, we are dealing with the subject of times and seasons. And I told you that I deal and treat this subject once a year. Because as we come to the middle of the year, we need to, position ourselves well and also evaluate our intentions, our plans, aspirations, and hopes. Because we don't walk into a year, we don't walk into a season, we don't walk into a country, we don't just, enroll into any institution without having an objective, or without having a subject, without having a vision, to push us to do what we ought to do. So as we progress through the days of the year, we have to sit back and do evaluation, do checks and balances of your life. Because life is up and down, and life is supposed to be accumulative, it's supposed to be income-based. You should succeed and you should win. You should be on the winning side. Those of you who came here last Friday, we shared a fantastic word on this same subject, and I made you to understand that your 24 hours is supposed to be productive. In as much as we lose, the winning is supposed to be more than the losing. The ratio, it should be that way. So your 24 hours, your week in, week out, is supposed to be productive, and that's your life. You don't have any external life, or you don't have anything outside what you have. So whatever you are giving your input, if you are going to school, if you are working, if you sign any contract with any company to be an employer, or to be an employee, to be who you are, a student, a business person, or whoever, wherever sector you find yourself, understand that each one of us have 24 hours in a day, and that 24 hours is your productive, or whatever you do with it is up to you. So you should always do your calculations and your checks and balances. The fact is that we are growing. It's a fact. For that one we cannot deny it. Even the babies, we dedicated yesterday, Fiapokuya and Co. Today you see them, they are girls. They see you and they can talk, they can communicate. Those we dedicated yesterday, most of them are now, on their feet. We are growing. We can't deny that fact. Now, as we are growing, we should be able to align with what Moses said, that you should teach us to number our days. Your days in the year is 365 days. So if the Lord gives you the heart of wisdom to number your days, you will know that so far we are in the 5th month. So how many is deducted from the 365 and how many is left? So that you'll be able to know where you are. Check your bank account, check your pay slips, how much you've been taking, what you've used it for, and what you have achieved and what you have left. So it helps you to manage your life and also construct your life. One of the things I want you to understand this morning is that my mandate, as far as ministry is concerned, is only two. Number one, to help you to live well, walk in this life with integrity, and also understand why you are here. You are not here by accident. You are not in the country by accident. You are not in the FCI by accident. You are here on divine appointment. Per what God said to Jeremiah, that before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I've prepared you, I've set you apart, I've ordained you. So there is nobody, even if your dad and your mom did not plan for your coming, you are here. So therefore, there is a mandate for you to accomplish. It's my assignment to help you to understand your mandate. Why you are here, why God brought you around, so that you never deviate from your assignment and also move out of position. You will know where you are, where you belongs to. You understand your calling in life and pursue it and be successful. For the prosperity of the sons of God and the daughters of God, push the Father, to celebrate your prosperity and your success is a trophy for God. Number 2 is to prepare you for eternity, prepare you for afterlife. What is there? What is ahead of you? So that's the mandate of the church, and that's my mandate. So if you hear me always hammering at one side or hammering at the core point of your life, I am doing that because I am called to do that. To remind you, who you are, what is ahead of you, where you are, because it is part of our nature as human. For us to easily forget ourselves. Some of us, when our prime objective is marriage. The moment we get into marriage, we easily forget ourselves. Some of us is to receive our resident permit in this country. Most of them, when they receive it, they think that they are more than Prince Charles or King Charles. So they begin to forget themselves, where they are coming from, what they are pursuing, and what they ought to do at the right time. It is part of our nature. We easily forget ourselves, so we need to be reminded. Some of us, we even forget our date of birth. Until we remind you that it is your birthday, you don't even recognize it, because time and season is just flying just like that. Year in, year out. 365 days is not as we propose. It's just here, it's just around the corner. Adulthood is not far. Parenthood is not far. Being into your old age, into your retirement age, is not far. It's just around the corner. So when you position yourself and you shape your mind and tune your mind and prepare yourself for life, it makes things easy for you. Your prayer life, the way you approach issues, the way you approach things becomes very easy for you. But you don't have to walk in life as if you don't know your left from your right. It's like you live according to the day. The day actually dictates for you. You don't dictate for the day. The day command you to do what you ought to do. But you should command your morning, command your days, command the weeks ahead of you, so that everything will fall into its rightful places. So we are dealing with the subject, how each one of us can discern the times and also the seasons that comes with divine opportunities. I always want to emphasize on the divine opportunities. The fact is, life that God has given to us, or our days on this earth, is programmed. Grace controls us. And under the wings of grace, there are so many opportunities that comes into man's life. Under the wings of grace, there are so many doors that opens for us. But one of the things we should understand is that doors don't just open. When a door is open without preparation to walk through that door, the door will be open all right. But the person who's supposed to walk through that door is not ready and is not prepared. So when opportunity hits your gate or hits your door, and there is no preparation for that opportunity, you will miss it out. In this country, we talk about mental health issues. We talk much about depression. We talk much about, people going through stress and other things. But from where I sit as a pastor, from where I sit as a counselor, most of the things I've noticed is that people are depressed, stressed out, going through mental issues, health issues. Most of them are those who miss opportunities and also miss their times and seasons. Because you see, Life itself, one way or the other, is a race. It's not a competition. I'm not competing with you. We are in a race. You can be in track 1, I can be in track 6. You can run as fast as you can. And Solomon made us to understand that the race is not for the swift. Scripture says that even the last can be the first, and the first can be the last, only if you know your time and your season. This is the reason why we cannot take life as a contest. I will never compete with you, because the shoes that you are wearing, it may look nice, but if you remove it for me to put my feet in, it may not fit. So I cannot compete with you. All I can do is motivate me to run my race. If I see that Pastor Sam, as my normal human being, or the person I'm looking up to is receiving such a breakthrough at this age, at this time, then it should motivate me and prompt me that if I shake myself and I also make a bold step out there, I can also make it. I don't have to compete with him. If I see you driving that car and I look at you, I praise God for that. And I tell myself that if the Lord can do it for my brother to drive such a car, then it means that if I believe God, I work hard, and I also know my times and seasons, the opportunity for me, or the tendency for me to also have that car is 100%. I don't have to be envious. If only I know my time and my seasons. I remember a couple of years, footballers, were bought 70,000 pounds, some of them 1 million pounds, and other things. Within a setup of a team that forms Arsenal or Manchester City or Real Madrid or Barcelona, within the setup of the team, the price of Ronaldo is not the same price as the other team member. But all of them are playing as a team. In fact, what the contract some of them signed for 5 years today is somebody's weekly wages, because it's time and seasons. It changes. So it is very essential for you to understand your time and your seasons, so that you can flow through life. You will not compete with anybody. Whether in ministry, whether in business, whether in marriage, whatever sector you find yourself, you can flow naturally and you can just succeed without competing with anybody. One of the things about God, I told you last week, that God lives in eternity. He is a spirit. They that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. God is a spirit. But anytime God wants to deal with mankind, he steps out of the space of the spiritual realm from eternity into natural space to deal with us. And I told you that natural space is controlled by times and seasons. So the time that Mary conceived and the time that Jesus Christ was born, it was within a certain season. And last Friday I told you for the Magi's to step out and to read from the Torah and to read from the prophetic word that one day a king shall be born. The Messiah will come according to Isaiah. For them to read through the Torah and read through the prophetic words of Isaiah to understand that tonight we need to step out there, read the stars, and also check what is going on. It's within time and season. It's within time and season. One of the painful things is that when we miss our time and season, church, I told those who came here last Friday that winter comes once a year, summer comes once a year. If you are destined to progress and to achieve something this summer, and you are not timing yourself, and you are not working through your God-given abilities and capacity, listen, next summer, the next one we have is next year. We cannot have another summer this year. So understand your time and understand your seasons. Everything in this life, whether you are living here 90 years, whether you be here 120 years, whether you live here 70 years or whatever, listen, everything is programmed by time and season. Everything. The world is controlled by time and season. Whether you are flying economy, whether you are flying business class or first class, you are controlled by time. There's no way they say that let the economy, let them come last, or let them, come tomorrow, so that the first class will board this morning. Listen, the first class may board early, the second class may board early, business may board next, the economy may board last, but at the end of the day, it's the same time. They are flying at the same time. So it's not a matter of class. It's a matter of understanding your time. You can't stop it. When the flight of life takes off, you can never stop it. And I can surprise you this morning that there are a lot of us, we've missed our flight as far as life is concerned. We've missed it. Because we thought that, so long as it's Ghana Airways, it's our own flight. So, even it's Ghana time. Anytime, Ghana time controls Ghana Airways. Listen to me. You get to the airport and the flight will be taken off. When it comes to times and seasons, there's nothing called African time or black man's time. We can't stop it. So you should be very careful with your time and your seasons. You should be very careful. This one, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to preach from the Bible, but let me give you a practical. I love the practical side of life. Because sometimes some of you, when we take you through the Bible, it's like an ancient people. We are talking about ancient people. But I wanted to bring it to your doorstep for you to understand. People who step into the space of time. They were there at the right time. And doors opened for them. Can I have my first image on the screen? Yes, guys, are you ready? Okay. There's this man called Mahmoud. This man is called Mahmoud Gassama. He is from Mali. And this man used to be illegal immigrant in France. Please give me his next picture. I need the actual one. He is African from Mali, called Masoud Gassama. He's a Malian, and he was an illegal immigrant in France. So, there was a fire outbreak in Paris. There was a fire outbreak in Paris on 26th of May 2018. One of the apartments in Paris was set on fire. And there were a lot of residents up there who couldn't come down or to be rescued. And this guy happens to be there at the right time. He was just passing by. And he saw that this apartment was set on fire. So, per instinct, in the right time, caused this guy to climb the apartment without any equipment. So he climbed the apartment to save some babies and some children. Brought them down. He climbed it like a spider. Then he came down. Then after everything was settled, after the rescue and everything was settled, the media captured this guy. And he was all over the place, all over the news, around the world. So the French president, can you show me that image? The French president got interested. Then he invited this guy, to the presidency. Then asked him what prompted him to do what he did at that time, at that season. Then the guy told the man his story, where he was coming from, and how he happens to be there at that time. Go to the next image. Then the French president granted him his residency, and he was also enrolled to the French National Fire Service. He had his French residency. He had his employment, a prominent employment, to become a firefighter. And that was the end of the story. So you ask yourself this question: why was he there at that time? Was he the only person at that time? So what prompted him to do what he did? It's a matter of time and season. If you don't understand your time and your season, and you fall within the time and season, listen, there are so many divine opportunities that comes that you will never struggle, and you never pay a bribe, and you never fight for it. It will fall within your time, and it will fall within your season. I believe that people pay money for their residency. They pay money for them to even to get a cleaning job to do. But with this young man, because he understood times and season and the divine opportunities that comes with it, it came at the right time, and the man succeeded at the right time. Let me take you to the Bible. Bible said that one day the father of David, called Jesse, there was a battle in Israel. And this man's sons, those who were healed and mega, those who were into Israeli army, all of them went to the battlefield to fight Goliath at that time and at that season. Bible says that the battle went into days, and there was nobody winning. So Jesse then prepared lunch and gave it to David and said, "Take this food and go to the battlefield and give it to your brothers." Now, Bible said David was only going there as a servant to hand over to the brothers who qualify in life, but not him, because he was just a shepherd. The guy was not accepted in the society. There was a battle, a mega battle between Israel and Philistine. So it means that young boys cannot go there. It takes those who are into prominence. So David only went there to hand over food to the brothers and come back home. But not knowing that that time and season, there were so many divine opportunities that those who were at the front line, they couldn't see that divine opportunities that comes with times and seasons. And I always explain to my sons and daughters that listen to me carefully. The blessings of the Lord comes always in an obscured way. It doesn't come on silver platter. Divine opportunities doesn't come and knock at your door like this young man we are dealing with. Most of divine opportunities that comes, it comes with a problem, it comes with a challenge, it comes with tears, it comes with so many things that goes beyond your capacity. But you should be sensitive and discern within your time and seasons. Listen, your elevation and your promotion will never come because you deserve it. Sometimes it comes with a test, and when you pass the test, that's when promotion comes. Discern times and seasons and the divine opportunities that comes with it. David got to the battlefield. Bible says Goliath was screaming and shouting and insulting that there is no God in Israel. There is no God who can fight the gods of Syria. So David heard this, and he said, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine insulting our God?" Listen, there are some of us sitting down here, poverty is insulting our family. There are some of us sitting down here, limitation is insulting us. There are some of us, it's not the color of your skin, it's your mentality and how you approach things, insulting you day in and day out. But if you're not able to confront your enemy and confront the things that you fear in life, you always run away. David said, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine?" Then he went further by asking, "What will be given to the man who kills this man?" And they told him that the person who is able to fight Goliath and kill him, this person's family is going to be exempted from taxes for life. Number two, that person is going to marry the king's daughter. Meanwhile, David was anointed to become a king, but the guy had no throne, he had no crown. Meanwhile, David was in the wilderness. He was in the wilderness looking after the sheep, and he was training himself for divine opportunities that will come. If you understand your times and seasons, listen, whilst nobody knows you, nobody sees you, prepare yourself in advance. Unless you are not ready for life. If you know where you want to get to in life, if you know the standard, if you know the future, if you know where God, the dreams you have, what God has revealed to you like Joseph, if you know what God has said about you, listen, prepare yourself in advance. Prepare yourself. If in prison, people are preparing themselves for prime ministership. Prepare yourself. Some of you want to be on the prime line, the light to follow you before you begin to act and do something. Prepare yourself whilst you're in the wilderness. There is no Goliath in your life at the moment, but whilst the lions and the bears are here, please use them to prepare your hands. Use them to prepare your hands. Bible says, for my plans and my intentions for you, they are pure and they are clean. If you know that God has plans and intentions, good intentions for you, you prepare yourself in advance. You don't sit down until it comes. It might be too late. It might be too late. It might be too late. Yesterday, one of my friends, from China, who is in this country, called me and said, my lawyer told me that at a certain point, when my document progresses, they said I will go and write British citizenship, whatever. I said, go and write it now. You know that thing is ahead of you. No matter what, it will come. So why are you sitting down? What if a new king comes and says, I've changed the law? Prepare yourself in advance. If you know that you are going to deliver a baby, no pregnant woman will sit down until the baby is born before they buy their coat and buy their pampers and buy whatever it takes. Prepare yourself. If you know your time and season, and you know yourself that I am pregnant with vision, I am pregnant with dreams, prepare yourself. Use the lions and bear and prepare yourself. Don't sit down until the doors are open. Prepare yourself. If you are a student of time and season, you don't sit down. Whilst it is 100 pounds, prepare yourself for it. Because the next time you say, I'm ready, to be 1,000 pounds. Prepare yourself. Whilst you have the capacity to go to college and better yourself, obtain a certificate and do a degree, please do it. Don't wait. You have the capacity. You have what it takes. Do it. Prepare yourself. David went to the battlefield with a prophecy over his head. He was not part of the army. When the brothers heard David asking, making inquiries, I love David so much. Making inquiries to something that it got nothing to do with him. He went to ask them question, what shall be given to the person who fight Goliath? And he was told that the person will not pay tax. The family will not pay tax the rest of their life. Motivation. And he was told that that person will be giving the king's daughter to marry. That's access to the palace, access to presidency. Prepare yourself. David did not ask that question out of nothing. He asked that question because the guy has been fighting lions and bears. Every battle that you are doing in life is a preparation into the future. Whatever you are going through, please don't think that it is just you or God has abandoned you. God is using it to prepare you for the future. Fight your battles. Don't run away. Don't give excuses. Fight. Listen, if you're able to win today, it will give you the strength and the capacity to fight and win your battles tomorrow. David heard this and told them, then I can fight this uncircumcised Philistine. The brothers heard it and they came. They said, you are so arrogant. People who don't understand their time and season, they always conflict and they always have issues with the upcoming generation. They always try to block them left and right and center. They don't want them to emerge because they have missed their time and season, and they don't want the next generation to run their race. They have a problem with them because they don't see why these young guys are thinking what they are thinking. They are seeing what they are seeing. I heard Joel saying that in the last days, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. The young ones shall prophesy, and the old ones shall see dreams. Prepare yourself. Understand your times and seasons and the divine opportunities that comes with it. We might all be illegal immigrants, but listen, this guy said, Mahmoud said that there is opportunity. There's a building on fire. That the fire tenders are not even coming. But he said, I will climb and pray, save life. That was divine opportunity. Maybe his country's president has not even been to the presidency of the French territory. But this illegal immigrant, through divine opportunity, sensing times and seasons, discerning times and seasons, took the guy to presidency. I don't believe it's easy for an illegal immigrant to get that job to work with the fire brigade in France. But the guy was enrolled automatically. With no training, like David, like Joseph, with no certificate, with no training. Because they sense different opportunities at the right time. I don't know why you sit down there crying. I don't know why you think you are depressed. I don't know if you can sense the times, the opportunities around you. I don't know why you can see all the things surrounding you. Your breakthrough might be Goliath. Your breakthrough might be the apartment set on fire. But you might see it as risky. Last week I told God, love risk takers. Take risk with language. Take risk with your height. Take risk with anything that you have. Because that is you. Don't let anybody, those who think they are winning, don't let them intimidate you. You are who you are. David came to the battlefield without a shirt, without no weapon. He appeared as he was. But because the guy was prepared, he knew times and seasons, and he can smell, he can discern. He asked questions, he made inquiries, asked questions. Ask questions. Don't just nod your head and just walk off. Don't take everything as normal. Ask questions. Sometimes the answers that will be given to you will be the motivation to push the door. Ask questions. David said, I can kill this uncircumcised Philistine. They said, oh, who dare you? Who are you? What training do you have? What is your certificate? In fact, the brothers even stepped forward and said, listen, whom do you left the few sheep with? The guy is talking about future and you are talking about few sheep. When David was introduced to Saul, Saul looked at him and said, you are too young. You are too young. You are not coming. You are a wannabe. You are not coming. You can't risk your life like this. You are too young for this. But listen to what David said to the king. David said, I've been preparing for this opportunity a long time ago. Before coming here, I was fighting with lions and bears, even though I am not part of the army. But I can sense the divine opportunity. I am prepared. I believe I can kill this guy. I believe I can fight this guy. I believe I can face my demons. I believe that the family, the root of poverty, what has been going on in my family, that nobody can marry, nobody can succeed, nobody can break through. I believe that with the help of God, through discernment of times and seasons, I can change the norms. Saul said, if then take my jacket, my armory, and wear it to protect you. David put it on. And the shirt was just, weighing David, he couldn't stand. So David said, I don't need it. Because when I was fighting the lions and bears in the bush, I had no shirt. So this is my divine setup. This is how God has made me. If you have problem with my height, that's your problem. If you have problem with my color, that's your problem. If you have problem, with everything about me, I can't change it. That's what God has made me. Allow me to flow. They gave David javelin. David said, I don't know how to kill animals and kill lions with javelins. They asked him, so how are you going to fight this guy? He said, I have a pouch When God met me, when God met Moses. Moses was just he was just ordinary shepherd with rod and staff, and that was the beginning of his greatness. Whatever is in your hands, God is very interested. Whatever your natural setup is, God is very interested to work through that one. Moses could not talk. God says, I know your weakness. I'll work through your weaknesses. Understand your times and your seasons and flow with it. Under no circumstances can a stone, ordinary stone, knock Goliath down. It can't be. But it can only happen when a person who understands times and seasons. Like what I showed you about this young guy. What people cannot do with physical money, times and seasons and divine opportunities to unlock those things. So if you see somebody killing their Goliath with a stone, don't think it's an easy job. Prepare, check their preparation and their background before. We are always interested about David. We are always interested about Hadassah, how she got married to the king. We are always interested about Mordecai, how he was promoted. But check the background, the divine opportunities. Mordecai had information, news, conspiracy against the king. He stepped into that space of time and seasons. Mordecai heard that there is an announcement that there's vacancy for a wife. They are looking for a wife for the king. Mordecai heard it. Divine opportunities within times and seasons. I always throw this question at you. What happened to Vashti? Why is it that she misbehaved when Esther came to that space within that time and that season? That's why Mordecai reminded Esther when she became a queen. Said that, who knows why God brought you into this in such a time? Understand your role and your responsibility within your time and seasons. It's very important. Let me show you another person. Give me the second image. There's this man. I really love his story. His story happened when Jeremy was born. I do remember vividly. So I was following this very story. I love this story too much. His name is called Guy Goma. And in 8th of May, 2006, Jeremy was born March. And in the month of May, his story appeared. Now, Guy Goma is an IT person. Who came to apply for a job at BBC. There was a vacancy. Actually, he had an appointment to come for interview. Now, why he came was just a basic job interview. So, you know that when you come, you are going for an interview, they prepare you at a reception place. You sit down there, so that when it's your time, they will call you in. So there's a man called Guy Goma from Congo. Now, this man was sitting down there, and all of a sudden, the makeup artist came to just, decorate his face and just wipe his face and dress him nicely. And the guy was like, what is going on? So he was there when somebody came to escort him, then straight to television, live TV. Not knowing that there was another man called Guy Hawker, who is an expert in IT, who was coming to explain something about Apple and Microsoft. They were having an issues. So the man was an expert. The Guy Hawker was an expert who also came in, to be on live TV, on BBC for them to interview him. The person who came to pick Guy Hawker did not even ask names, ask questions. He pulled this man, Guy Goma, straight in front of the television. And the questions were put to him. So what do you think about Apple and Microsoft? The conference going on. And by inducing, the guy had no idea what they were talking about, because he just came to apply for a normal job. And the guy was put on television live across the world. They asked him such a question. Then by inducing, the guy also gave answers, what he knew. And the interviewer was nodding his head. So later they got to know. After the interview, they got to know that the Guy Hawker, the guy expert, is still sitting down there. It was one of the bluntest, in media space. That's never happened in the history of BBC. And from there, this man came into prominence. I mean, Hollywood and big media guys were looking for this guy to use his story to act, make a film out of the story. Being at the right place, within your time, within your season. When you go home, read about him, Guy Goma. His story is very fantastic. He had no idea, like David. He only came there. He just showed up. The guy was prepared to come for the interview, but it was not for the screens. But God showed him up. Just on the 8th, he was celebrating an anniversary of it. BBC called him again. Just last week, if you watch BBC, he was on BBC. And they were asking him, about 20 years or whatever incident, to explain once again. Every year, different opportunities. Listen, from Genesis, God said that everything that I've created, they are good and they are nice. Finito, God is done. So the opportunities evolve day in and day out. It's like the fishes in the ocean. Every day we eat fish, but they've never run out. In season and out of season, they produce. That's how divine opportunities are. So nobody has taken all the opportunities and run away with it. If only you know your time and you know your season. I read something about Ghana fisheries. They said that at a certain period of the year, I think August, they don't allow any fisherman to go to sea because that time and season the fishes are producing. Time and season. Last week we watched it on the screen, how the hares of Africa, Tanzania, the buffaloes and all these animals, how they cross to Kenya when season and time changes. Listen, everyone in the Bible, irrespective of the prophecy that says the Lord over their life, they always work within their time and their space. Check Esau and check Jacob. The exchange of their blessing was within a split second. Time and season. You know what Isaac asked Esau? And do you know what Isaac asked Jacob? When Jacob brought the food to the father asked him, why are you so quick? Because the father told Esau, go to the field, hunt, and come and prepare me bushmeat soup. But within 20 minutes, the guy was done. Presented the food. Now, after Esau came later on, the father asked him, what kept you so long? It was just a split second. Rebecca heard what Isaac said to Esau, and she stepped in. If you are not able to maximize your time and your season, people always steps in. Check the New Testament. The man who was by the pool for 38 years, he said to Jesus, anytime I made an effort, somebody jump in ahead of me. If you don't maximize your time and season, people will always jump ahead of you. It's very crucial. Because divine opportunities are all over the place within time and seasons. They're all over the place. You are not too young to advance. You are not too young to become a millionaire. You don't need gray hair to break through. If you know your time and you know your seasons, understand your time and season and maximize your time and season. If you're able to do that, listen to me very carefully. You will break forth. Hear what I wrote here. I said, there is no wristband or anointing oil, sticker, a prophet, a pastor, who will give you a bright future and also create a bright future for you. There is no sticker. There's no church calendar or whatever. Whether you put the wristband on or you put the sticker in front of your house, Holy Ghost zone, it doesn't change the norms. You can do all this if you don't know your time and season, even when God is talking to you. Last week I told you that, Samuel was next to the ark of the testimony. God spoke and he couldn't notice the voice of God. He had no idea about God's time or his time until Eli explained to him. There's no sticker, there's no gimmick, there's no magic, there's nothing. After we said the benediction, after this message, after preaching, after laying my hands on you, after we shut the door, we said the benediction, and we go into the bigger world out there. If you don't understand your time and your season, listen, you go and come back the same. You go and come back the same. If you don't have an identity, you don't know who you are. If you don't know what you are operating on, listen to me, nothing will change. Mondays will remain the same Mondays. But if you are equipped, like David prepared himself in the wilderness before he came out. Goliath was not a problem. It was just one stone. One stone is enough. One stone is enough. I asked this funny question. I said, how many wristbands have you seen on the wrist of Mark Zuckerberg? How many stickers have you seen on his car or his doorpost? How many wristbands or anointing oil or whatever have you seen them applying? But in the space of the world system, they break through big time. The reason is there was a demand, there was a gap, there was a space, there was a need within a certain time and season to bring the world community together. Something called Facebook that my classmates have not seen 20 years. Mark Zuckerberg has the capacity to pull all of us together on one platform so that we can communicate. And he made it in life within that time and that season. That was enough for Mark Zuckerberg. Breakthrough. There was no sticker. There was nothing. There was no wristband or there was no sticker. Bible says God called it day and night, and Adam understood it, and he worked within day and night. Friday, I made you to understand that your day and your night are productive. From the Old Testament Exodus perspective, Bible says by day he led them by the pillar of light. So by night he led them by the pillar of light. That means during the night they were still walking. They were still, making it. And during the day he led them by the pillar of clouds. He was shielding them. So you don't have any excuse. Understand your time and understand your season. Listen, the future or eternity is not something that we just walk into or we just enter. Let me explain. We don't just walk and step into the future. The future or eternity after life, it's not something that we just fly and jump into it. The future takes preparation. Your tomorrow needs preparation. If you know your life, you know your time, you know your season, you know yourself, you know what you are called for. Before you were formed, you know, 29:11 Jeremiah, Bible say that, for I know the plans I have for you. If you understand all this scripture, listen, you don't sit down for the future to come and meet you. You meet the future because you are fully prepared. When Joseph was called by Pharaoh, it was not that time that Joseph said, I need reorientation, or I need to go and read my notes. It was a straightforward. He gave the guy precise interpretation. And Pharaoh said, you can enroll, you can start work today. I remember, let me say this before I sit down. I went to Wandsworth College when I came to this country to further my electrical course. City and Guilds. From the day, the very day they gave me the certificate, I went to Clapham Common, Clapham Junction Job Center to look for a job. And a job popped out. Electrical shift engineer for Millennium Hotel in Mayfair around Oxford Street. So I just applied for that job. They helped me. The job center guys helped me. And they sent the application across. We know time I got a call that the following day, if I can come for an interview around Mayfair, American Embassy is here, Canadian Embassy is here, and I think Israeli Embassy is there, around Bond Street. So I prepared myself, put my tester. That tester, I brought it even from Ghana. I put it in my pocket and I went. They asked me questions and apprenticeship and all this kind of stuff. I gave them the answers. Then one of the senior guys said that for us to know your competence, we have electrical problem in one of our corridors. The light isn't working. We've done everything. It comes on and after some time it goes off. So if you can just have a look per chance. So I asked them for a ladder. They gave me a short ladder and I opened the ceiling. And I was just tracing the cable and I noticed that there's a break somewhere. It has come off from the junction box. So I took my Ghana tester from my pocket and just switch it off, reconnect it, tape it, secured it, and I asked them to put it on. They put it on and straightforward, all the corridor lights came. Pam. They said, can you start job tomorrow? Can you start your work tomorrow? And I said, I don't mind. I can come tomorrow. Preparation. What if I didn't take my tester and I asked them to give me their tester and it couldn't work? What if, whilst I was going here, I was not prepared? I got that job out of nothing. Like how David killed Goliath. One stone is enough to protect you if you are prepared within your time and your season. That's it. I know what I'm talking about. I know that God, listen, I will not preach about anything that I'm not privy to it. I will not tell you stories. I am a practical preacher and I know what this God can do if you know your time and your seasons. I know what God has done for me as an individual if you only understand your time and seasons. This is the reason why I don't joke with relationship. I've been in relationship left and right and center. Because God can move and he can do things at any given time. At any time. Discerning times and seasons. At a certain time, at a certain season, some people will come into your life. Some of them will hurt you. Some of them will teach you a lesson. Some of them will bless you. But all of them are mixture of life ingredients. They are part of it. They are part of it. They are part of it. Last time I was telling you, I went to Nottingham to visit one of my sons and daughters who used to be with us, but they've relocated years ago. We were talking, we were having lunch, and we were talking, hey, Pastor, I met this woman. This woman, you used to call him your mom. You introduced her to the church as your mom when we were on Guilford Street. Some of you know the person I'm talking about. Pastor, I met this woman at a party. And we introduced ourselves to her. And he said, oh, Pastor Kevin, that man is a good man. Oh, that my son is a good man. He's a nice person. He's the one who helped me to even come to this country. He's the one who helped me to even have a stay in this country and blah, 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 blah. But the way this woman treated me, the way this woman paid me back with pain. At the end of the day, it is this woman who went to Nottingham, I was not there, and giving reference and giving praise to me. The woman praised me where I was not there. So I come to terms to understand that when you understand your times and seasons, people will come into your life. You show them kindness and show them goodness. They may pay you back, but years back, God will use these same people to promote you. In your absence, they will promote you. In your absence, they will give you reference. In your absence, they will show kindness to your people. It was time and season when David met Jonathan. Jonathan had no idea that he would die at a young age. But when Jonathan left and David came into prominence, came into kingship, David then announced, is there anyone in the house of Saul that I can show kindness? And for the sake of Jonathan's relationship with David, Mephibosheth, a cripple who should not come and eat at the king's table, came into prominence. And everything that he lost, David gave it to him. Please listen to me. Understand your time and season. Discern it. If you are 40, discern your time. Calculate. Do your calculation. If you are 20s, if you are a teenager, if you are, still coming up, if you are in your 30s, listen. Know where you are so that your time and season can shape your life. It will help you and push you and motivate you to do what you ought to do. In the book of Chronicles, Bible said the sons of Issachar, they understood times and seasons, and they told Israel what they ought to do. And last time I told you that among the tribe of Israel, among the 12 tribes, the tribe of Issachar were very few. They are very small. But they had, they were so intelligent when it comes to times and seasons. Please, don't let your time and season play you around. Control your time and control your season. And there are so many divine opportunities that comes with it. It's a package. Whatever you need is part of the package. May the Lord bless us, and the Lord give us a very beautiful week and preserve our life. Amen.